There is a surge of entrepreneurial drive among young Canadians, whether it's about financial independence or turning a passion into income. Nearly 3 in 4 Gen Z Canadians want to start their own business. This, according to a recent TD survey. Here to tell us more is Julia Kelly, Vice President, Small Business Banking at TD. Julie, great to have you in the studio.
Fantastic to be here.
All right, so interesting study here. Let's dig in. What is it about this generation, this Gen Z, that is driving them to want to pursue their own businesses?
You know, when you look at the Gen Z population, it is such an exciting time for them. There's never been this amount of information that is so readily and easily accessible. Add to that digital tools and resources that are available, make it easy to start or build your business. You know, when I think back to when I was 20 years old, my friends and I weren't talking about starting a business. And now between the ability to access a client base or start a business with really low barriers to entry, you don't need to set up a retail store. You can do it digitally and access customers. And so I think it's really about a time where that ease of ability to start a business has propelled the Gen Z population to say, maybe this is something I can take on.
All right, so we've given the young people the tools. They have a wealth of information at their fingertips to do their research. We also know that youth unemployment is high. Do these things start to come together?
You know, without a question. This comes together when you look at one of the top reasons why Gen Zs are interested in starting their journey of entrepreneurship comes down to financial freedom. How can they take control of their own destiny, especially when we look at economic uncertainty is at a high. They want to be able to be their own boss, have flexibility in how they work and how they operate. And that definitely correlates to what we see in unemployment and the ability to take control.
Now, when I think about being the age that Gen Z is right now, maybe fear of failure could be a part of what might stop you, but also access to capital. I didn't have a lot of money back then either. How does that inform Gen Z? How are they thinking about these barriers?
You know, I don't think the idea of fear of failure is unique to a Gen Z population, but is certainly one that they acknowledge is due to a lack of experience primarily. So you think about ways that you can overcome that. The advice I would give is you can start small with a side hustle. And many are looking to that and starting in a side hustle format to still earn some income, but de-risk their idea of entrepreneurship.
If anyone ever asks me about this and they say, I want to do some stuff, it's like, YouTube's there for you. Just do it. Just start making videos and see what happens, or just get your foot in there. So some of the concerns they might have, the risk, and the business world can be unforgiving, right? I mean, what kind of strategies can they start thinking about in terms of, like, it's not all going to be handed to you? There are strategies, right?
So tying into this idea of failure is how can I mitigate that? How can I de-risk what entrepreneurship and what I've heard about entrepreneurship? You can start with a part-time or full-time job within the industry that you're interested in. Learn from best-in-class operators or maybe some more challenging situations that help you understand how to navigate those curveballs that entrepreneurship can throw at you. And the other is really building out a plan to be able to understand what is it that you want to achieve and get some numbers down on paper. And then from there, you can determine what are the different opportunities when I am meeting unexpected financial situations. Do I look to government grants or funding that can be available or government-backed credit facilities that can help navigate some of those unexpected situations with entrepreneurship?
Okay, let's dig into some of the findings of the study. I find this one interesting. Two-thirds not actively seeking support from their banks, even though the majority want someone to advise them or to be a mentor to them. So let's bridge those two ideas together. What could they expect to get at a bank?
I think people feel like they need to come in with all of the financial knowledge and walk into a bank knowing everything. And let me tell you, that certainly does not need to be the case, and it can be intimidating. When I think about entrepreneurs, they are experts in their craft, whether it is plumbing and electricity or being the best baker and cupcakes or having a great passion for pets and bring pets joy. But they don't need to be experts in banking. But what you should be prepared to talk about is, first, what is your business plan? How are you going to plan for the unexpected? Welcoming the questions that might challenge what are the different situations that could arise. But more importantly is thinking about your cash flow. Every business type, industry, size has a different way of collecting payment, different frequency in which clients are paying them, and a different frequency in which they have to pay their vendors. So understanding this cash flow management is something both that an advisor can help you with, but also that you want to be prepared to talk about.
Now, we know that in the world of business, networking is pretty important. When you're first getting started, you just don't have the network. Advisors, I imagine, sort of connected in the business world.
You know, entrepreneurship, it's a mental game. It's tough. And you have to be able to rely on a network of experienced professionals to help alleviate some of that mental stress and anxiety that can come along with that. But when you start talking with other people who have been there before you or who know other experts in your field, then it can help de-risk and give you the confidence you need to be able to grow your business in the way you want.
Finally, I'm going to ask you, what is the one thing you want young people who are interested but unsure about starting their own business to think about?
You know, when you go into entrepreneurship, you have to be ready to go all into your business and be really committed to growing your business and making that your everyday life. But more than that, you want to start with sharing your idea with someone, because before then, it's just an idea. To make it a reality, you need to start talking about it.